Atlanta is a rare rarity light cruiser from the Eagle Union and is the name ship of the Atlanta class of light cruiser, or anti-aircraft light cruiser. She's available from light construction, the requisition, and stages 5-2, 6-3, 7-2, 8-1, 9-3, 11-3, 12-2, all of Chapter 13, and 14-3. Atlanta was launched from the Federal Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company on the 6th of September 1941, commissioned on the 24th of December 1941, scuttled after severe damage in the Battle of Guadalcanal on the 13th of November 1942, and stricken on the 13th of January 1943. Atlanta did the usual task an American light cruiser did in the Second World War. Here are her more interesting exploits. Was sponsored by Margaret Mitchell, writer of Gone with the Wind. Screened for Hornet during the Battle of Midway. Screened for Enterprise during the Battle of the Eastern Solomons. Shot down multiple Val dive bombers launched from Shokaku and Zuikaku against the Enterprise. Screened for Minneapolis, which had been damaged, and guided her with a tow rope. Served as the flagship for Task Force 64.2 under the command of Rear Admiral Norman Scott. Escorted the Xylan, Libra, and Betelgeuse to Guadalcanal. Helped sink Akatsuki with San Francisco and other cruisers. Was hit by a torpedo from Inazuma or Ikazuki to her forward engine room. Was friendly fired by San Francisco, who confused her for being an enemy or was aiming for an enemy past her. Though the shells passed through the armor of the ship, the fragmentation killed many of the Atlanta's crew members, including Admiral Scott and his staff. Radioed to the damaged USS Portland to ask for rescue. In her character art, drawn by Yumisaki Kade, Atlanta wears a white vest with red pockets on the sides and black straps holding it up, a white detached collar with red tie, black arm sleeves, white cuffs, red fingerless gloves, a blue pleated skirt with white thigh highs, white panties, a black hair ribbon, the presidential seal on her pocket in reference to the presidential unit citation, and black and red leather loafers. Her rigging consists of an armature that's fastened around her waist, an AA gun on her lower back, another on her upper left shoulder, a quad torpedo launcher strapped to her lower left thigh, the front half of a ship hull to her left, 6 double-barreled naval cannons, 3 to each side, a radio mast, and a joystick she holds in her left hand, most likely to aim and fire the cannons. In her voice lines, voiced by Kazuza Aranami, who voices Yusa and Jashin-chan, Atlanta tries too hard to be a big sister.
時々本当のお姉さんじゃなくてよかったと思う。姉というのはスタイルを見せるのではなく、性格こそ良くないと務まらないの。だから、このお姉さんに思いっきり頼ってちょうだい。指揮官は、積極的なお姉さんが好き？例えば、私みたいな。お姉さんに導いてほしいって？もちろん大丈夫よ。だって私はお姉さんなんだからね。しまった。姉としての尊厳が。指揮官が見てる。姉としてちゃんとしないと。新しいメール。妹たち宛てのがないかな。これ以上触らないで。姉としての尊厳が。ミッションボーナスが届いたよ。私の分は妹たちに譲るわ。
At level 125 with max strengthening and affinity, Atlanta has 3,598 HP, 131 firepower, 159 torpedo, 431 AA, 181 reload, 112 evasion, light armor, 32 speed, 132 accuracy, 12 luck, makes sense, 190 anti-sub, and consumes 9 oil. Atlanta has 2 skills and an AOA, focusing on making her a plane's worst enemy. At level 10, her first skill, Anti-Air Command Cruisers, increases the AA of cruisers in the same fleet as Atlanta by 15%. It doesn't stack with command skills that have a similar effect. At level 10, her second skill, Anti-Air Mode, when Atlanta fires her AA guns, there's a 25% chance to buff her own AA by 40%, but decrease her firepower by 20% for 3 seconds. Her AoA looks like this, being procced every 8 times her main gun is fired. It has a nice spread and is best used at close range so that more projectiles hit, like a shotgun. The recommended equipment for Atlanta is similar to how earlier destroyers I covered were equipped. The twin 100mm Type 98 for a DD gun with low reload time to proc skills, the best DPS against light and heavy armor, and great DPS against medium armor. The Rainbow Quint Mag Torpedo for the best homing torpedoes, the twin 57mm L60 for the best general use AA, a repair toolkit for survivability and healing, the high perf steering gear for a boost to evasion and survivability, and the crossbow for a buff to firepower and AA. Atlanta's main strength, if it wasn't obvious from her stats and skill, is quickly shooting down any and all enemy airplanes. She boasts the 10th highest base AA in the game, and that's going against super rare and ultra rarity ships, as well as having 2 torpedo mounts. Her AA, with both skills procced, shoots her to first place with 668 AA without equipment. Her S1 is always active, and her S2 gives a nice 40% buff to her AA. Her AOA can proc reasonably quick as well if you have a fast-firing main gun on her, which can be either a light cruiser or a destroyer gun. That being said, Atlanta isn't really good at anything else. Her firepower and torpedoes are on the lower side, meaning that she won't be doing much damage with them. She doesn't get another main gun mount or even another AA mount from limit breaking. Her luck is so low that her S2 probably won't proc most of the time, and when it does proc, it further neuters her firepower by debuffing it by 20%, on top of lasting only 3 seconds. Realistically, most ships' normal AA will be fine at taking down most of the enemy airplanes, which aren't all that common anyways. If you do need AA, you'll probably be using Atlanta's sister, San Diego, who also gets an ultra-rare retrofit. If you get Atlanta before Sandy and are having trouble against a stage or an enemy with a bunch of planes, I'd say go ahead and use her, but outside that, I wouldn't recommend her. Doubly so when she has sisters like Juno, Reno, and San Diego. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates. I also stream, and please check out my other Arknights and Azur Lane videos as well.